The Board of Education's here? Are all you here? Where's Selena? She's not here yet. Who are we missing besides Selena?
This is not my favorite pen.
I'll go for it.
Alan's not coming.
This was paid for by the school district. So.
I'm worried.
Kelly Franklin's not coming? You need a quorum.
My normal paper mate.
Do you have a quorum? Okay. If you guys double, on a microphone, so everyone has a microphone near you, so that, okay. Very good. All right. Let's go ahead and get started. Lisa, you want to do the call? Here.
Here. Here.
Yeah. Here. Here.
Okay, and Selena and Catherine are on their way. They're going to be here in a minute. Okay. All right, let's approve the agenda. Anyone have any changes, edits? Otherwise, I'll take a motion to approve.
So moved.
Is there a
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Anyone abstaining? Motion carries. Any public comments? No one's over there.
No.
We used to have public comments.
No public
No one cares anymore. That's okay. I know. Yeah, that's true. So today we have a very special meeting. We have the Board of Education with us to do our joint review of the FF&E, which we'll do. I pulled that up into the agenda so that they don't have to sit through everything. So we're going to go into the Perkins report.
Did you do the minutes?
Did I not do the minutes? Ah, crap. Sorry. Minutes. I skipped over that. I didn't see that. Anyone have? Oh, we wanted to make a change to minutes. We wanted to add to the minutes, Lisa, the unofficial approval that we had to put sound in the media center. We had discussed that in the meeting. We just want that formally in the minutes to
The full audio video.
the full audio video setup. Yeah.
Yeah.
Was there anything else? I think that was it.
No. nothing.
Anyone else have anything? All right. If not, I'll take a motion to approve the minutes with the change about adding the AV to the media center.
So moved. Second.
All in favor, say aye. Anyone opposed? Anyone abstaining? Motion carries. Okay. No public comments. So joint meeting today. Before you get into that, just a couple of things. First, I wanted to just quickly acknowledge the Board of Education. Thank you for being here. Thank you for putting policies in place to keep our kids safe. Thank you to the Cromwell Police Department for all your efforts today. I just had to put that out there. And then, on a much happier note, we had a great steel completion ceremony last week. I don't know how many of you attended it, but it was really nice. We had good weather. It wasn't hot. It wasn't cold. We had a good turnout. A lot of people showed up, I think, from the community that normally wouldn't attend these things, I guess. So, Mrs. Cochiola, thank you for organizing the students. I was very impressed with them. They were like high schoolers. I was like, look at them. I almost brought a tear to my eye. I loved it. I was so impressed with them. They did a great job. And thank you, obviously, to the communications subcommittee. As always, you know how to throw a party. So thank you. Thank you for everything you do every day, every week. It's amazing. Okay, that's all I had. Quick and easy. Joe, floor is yours.
Good evening, everyone. So Steve, can we put the screen up? And it's going to be a pretty quick change. So I'm going to start with general
Yeah.
information, the schedule,
grab some
and where we
chairs like
are
this?
with the overall
Steve?
budgets, and then we'll switch into more specific and go just flash through the room by room and each piece, what's in each room. Yes, am I not speaking close enough? That's because I have the old mic. So we are still tracking on schedule. We have approval of documents tonight by the Building Committee and Board of Ed. And looking to go, once that approval occurs, we'll be able to go up to the state for the PCR reviews. We have one scheduled for the 7th and 9th, and then for the 10th and 11th for technology. So there's two different packages. There's a furniture package and a FF&E technology package. And each one of those is broken down into two separate packages, one for the middle school and one for the central administration offices. So that's what we'll be looking at tonight. And then just to update on the estimates where we are. So for the middle school estimate, the budget was $1.2 million. We are currently tracking $70,000 under budget, and of that $1.129 million, 109,000 is ineligible. For the central administration office, we had a budget of $75,000. We are tracking slightly over that budget at $390,000, and no ineligible costs there. And then for the FF&E technology for the middle school, we're at 1.17. We have 1.225 for a budget, so we're tracking 53,000 under budget. And then again for the admin, we only had a $20,000 budget, and to get everything that was required for that portion of the building, we were tracking $9,666 over budget currently. Steve, can we switch to the other? Is there any questions on that?
We can move funds from project to project if
No,
we need.
no, 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 no.
Ah, crap.
We can move money into and out of contingency. You cannot move between projects.
So can I move it in and out of contingency and then to cover up the deltas?
Any overage after bidding will be covered by the contingency.
I know. Yeah, okay.
But you cannot interchange dollars between grants.
Gotcha. So they're set.
Even though the town had one referendum for the whole package,
Yeah.
the way the grants are set up, there's a Chinese wall between them.
Okay. So basically everything that's over on the central admin side comes out of our contingency.
Correct.
Okay, got it. Thanks.
And relatively speaking, I mean, you look at $9,600 out of a $20,000 budget, you say, oh, that's a big percentage. We're still talking about under $30,000 total. So it was an allocation decision at the time the budgets were carved up, that it could have been more. It just didn't happen to be more. It's not out of the ordinary to see $30,000 for that kind of scope.
Any other questions before we switch to the?
Joe, I just had one. I had emailed you earlier today.
Yes.
So is that whole scope going out to bid, or just a portion of this that's going out to bid?
Just a portion of it. So it's broken down into two different state contracts for furniture and for technology. What's not on state contract, if it's under a certain amount, I think it's $5,000 per the town charter, can be direct purchase. And then there'll be some items that are bid, and then of those of the total package on the technology side, some of the items are sole source that's used throughout the district, so we're using that to keep consistency.
Okay.
So that there's, for example, the Board of Ed furniture is all purchased off a state contract. Okay. Yes. So I'm going to go through this fairly quickly. It's a lot of information. This is sort of the more visual information of what was presented in the drawings and specifications and estimates and IDS sheets and cut sheets. So this is just the first floor plan showing, this is for furniture only, showing all the furniture throughout the building, including the second floor. This is the material palette that was as part of the construction. So wall colors, flooring, and cabinets and counters. So this is what we worked with this palette to develop the colors for the furniture as well. Yep. It's an accent color. It's so. I think it's one or two walls. Yeah, in the whole space. Yeah. Oh, right. Yes. Sorry. Yes. So. Sorry. There's a lot happened in 3 days. So yes, this actually we're going to look at changing this color to a lighter gray. Gray owl. Apparently. No, it's going to be a lighter gray than this. It's a softer gray than that gray paint there. Sorry, Dr. Macri, I forgot we talked about doing that.
I'll just remind you every time. I'll be like, Joe, give you the paint.
I'll repaint it myself if that happens. I did. So typical classroom furniture. So one of the items, the last item that we finally got selected was the teacher desk. So this will be a wood laminate desk, and one of the last configurations was the desk drawers. So we'll have a file and 2 boxes on each side. This is a stationary desk. So that was selected. There was a sample delivered. A lot of the big items, when I mean big items, the teacher desk, the student desks, the student chairs, the teachers' chairs, all these items were delivered as samples and reviewed by the administration and the staff. What's that? No, not on the student chairs. So the student chair, so the desk is basically what we would call a table, and then the student chair has a basket that would be for their book bags. And then also to point out, within each classroom there's an accessible desk that's a little bit wider that can accommodate a wheelchair. And then there's 2 other desks that allow for a swing bar for more active students and a wobble stool as well. That's the wobble stool. I do that every time. And the wobble stool is height adjustable. Mm-hmm.
The wheelchair accessible desk, is there one of those in every room?
Yes.
Okay. Thanks.
Yeah, so it does have a chair that when in the case of a wheelchair, that chair just be pulled to the side. The self-contained classroom has all the typical classroom furniture, and then it also has a cart for different supplies that they'll use for this curriculum. So the science classroom, a little bit different. There's a built-in demo table. This is part of the construction package. There'll be a teacher desk here, and then they have tables that are adjustable height-wise so that they could do different experiments. They have height-adjustable seats as well. They'll get a goggle cabinet and microscopes that are part of this package.
Hey, Joe, are we ordering any spares?
Spares of?
Desks.
No.
Should we order spares of desks and chairs?
I'll let Jack answer that one.
You could. The state won't pay for them, but you could definitely buy extras.
My concern is that we have like the accessibility desk, but what if you don't need them in the classroom? Like you have a classroom, they don't have students that require
It's
it.
still usable. That's why Joe mentioned that there is a chair provided for that.
So we have normal chairs in those situations?
Yes.
They don't have the
Yes.
So
wobbles?
there is a chair provided for every ADA desk.
Okay, just not different
And you
desks.
just move that chair aside if someone in a wheelchair needs it.
Okay.
So it's a wider desk that allows the wheelchair to roll under it.
But the the what are those things are called? The stools.
Yeah.
You have regular chairs for those as well.
No,
No.
we do not.
They have the wobble stool because it specifically works with that table. So that children who need to be more active in a classroom setting can have the adjustability to.
No, it's for every classroom.
It's for every classroom.
I mean, it shows self-contained, but we have them in the regular classrooms.
So the wobble chairs actually are designed to go with the standing desk that has the.
Yes.
So right, so the wobble chairs aren't going to be used with the other desks that are
no.
pictured. So F would be used with E.
Correct.
But you'd have 22 call 'em normal desks and then 2 wobbly desks. The class size is usually at least 24. So you're gonna have 2 students who may not need the wobbly chairs using wobbly chairs, wobbly stools.
That's left to the discretion of the teachers.
You okay with that? Okay.
So we get to our first STEAM space, which is robotics. So this is a very specialized program. So for the instructional area, we have chairs with tablet arms, and we have a percentage of left and right arms. So that two lefties and 26 righties. We also have the accessible desk here and the teacher desk that would be here. So that would be the instructional space, and then for more of the robotics instruction is these robotics type tables that have stools.
Are those the right pictures for the chairs? I thought they were supposed to have baskets under them.
They
They do come with a basket.
They do come with a basket?
With a photograph on.
Okay, as long as they come with the basket.
Yeah.
Okay.
They just can't stack.
They can't stack, yeah.
and then coding has a similar teacher desk and chair, and then they have these tables here instead of the robotics type table. Also, they have recording, a sound room, and control booth that have furniture in as well, and then lighting package that will go into the sound room. This is the art classroom. So these are the art tables that have storage with them in them, and then tables as well for instruction. And then, oh, that's the ADA. Thank you, Ellen. Regular teacher desk and these stools that go around the tables here, and then different bins for supplies and a storage cabinet. Part of the construction package is the kiln, so the drying racks will be part of the FF&E package. Oh, and those are existing that they're bringing over. Here's so these are the specialty cabinets that are part of this package. And then I forget what that one is. That's the pug mill that the teacher requested to assist with the amount of clay and getting that out for the student use. So the auditorium, all the seating is part of the construction, that's fixed. But what we're looking at here is the piano and bench, teacher's chair, and then these music stands and seats for performances. So those will get stored in the storage room that's across the hall. This is direct access to the stage. Music stands have racks, and then storage cabinets for auditorium storage.
Are those racks adjustable?
The shelves.
Yes, they can be, yes.
Yep. 500.
What did we settle on for seat size, seat width?
I'd have to look at the construction documents. I think they vary between 18 inches to 21, maybe. They vary.
I thought the min was 19. Was that min 19?
18.
Yeah, it was 18.
In the auditorium, I know we discussed
the chorus risers. I don't know where we landed on that. We're gonna bring them over. Okay. And then the other thing I noticed is we didn't have a podium. Is that getting brought over, or are we getting a podium?
That wasn't requested, so if we
We have one, we can bring one podium that we have. We have a podium.
No, I know, but we're just making a new school, so we wanted to include it as part of the furniture.
Hey, Joe, sometimes podiums are part of an AV package. Could it be there?
I'd have to check with D'Agostino on that to see if that's part of it.
Yeah, well, I was just thinking like from an AV standpoint, right? Like it might plug in differently than, I don't know what's there now.
It's just a street.
It's just
Like
a
it probably
podium
doesn't
now.
have like the built-in electronics.
It just
and
has
stuff.
a,
Built into
it just
Yeah.
has a microphone holder on it that's movable.
Yep.
It doesn't have like the electronic hookups or the,
Might look out of place in our new space.
huh?
It might look out of place in our new
Oh,
space.
it's gonna, well, it's not gonna be functional with all the electronics in that room.
Yeah, so I guess if we check on it.
Can you go back one slide? Okay, so we're putting, I can't see the letters very well, but the chair, where is that
Oh.
intended for? Is that for the
Sorry,
sound booth?
that chair goes in the control booth.
Okay, perfect.
Sorry.
It's just one chair?
Two.
Two, okay, good.
It's dispersed throughout. So it's these here. Yeah, so there's 5 in the front, and then there's 2 centered in the back here.
And
So
the
they-
sound, oh, sorry, go ahead.
They're required to be dispersed throughout.
The sound booth equipment's part of the construction package, right?
Yes. So band room furniture. So again, teacher desk and chair, student chair, and these have the arms that are tablet arms that are able to be added on as needed. Music stands, piano, storage, folio storage, and then these are instrument storage that go in the instrument storage room here. And then in the, which room's this? I forget. The chorus room. So in the keyboard room, they have storage for the keyboards. And then there's a high density storage rack. Again, the same type of furniture as the band room. Media center and steam furniture. So there's a lot of specialized furniture in here, as this room is serving multiple purposes. So we have a teacher desk and chair. So this one's specific for the steam room. We then have a circulation desk that's piece as furniture in this case. So that's located here. So the teacher desk is there. Bookshelves here that'll be located in this area. And then we have a mobile whiteboard, and then steam tables that have the stools like the robotics that are able to attach to the underside and be able to be moved around. These are the student desks for the instruction space, and then a little bit of soft seating that would go in the reading area, and that would be a built-in bench there. So there is a interactive monitor on the wall. There's also going to be part of the technology package a mobile interactive monitor.
Go ahead.
I was going to say the reason that there's both is that the mobile monitor, which provides flexibility for the program, wouldn't be able to hook up to the sound system that the interactive monitor is. So for assisted listening, so that they would use the stationary monitor for that.
Just a reminder quickly that if everyone could just talk into a microphone, just grab one near you. Just, it's hard to hear. Thanks.
Oh yeah, maybe. So did we verify the height of those student desks? Those
Yes.
they will.
They're actually
Oh, okay,
So they'll
good.
work with a stacking chair.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay,
which
thanks.
we've
Yeah.
added to the package.
Thank you.
Oh, yeah, sorry. So that's the stacking chair and rack, so that would be able to, for meeting purposes. And then some of the media center steam equipment. So this is all, I'm not going to go through everything, but this is all that was required for the program. Cafeteria is rectilinear tables that are foldable and with built-in benches. There's two types, so we have to provide for accessible seating, which will have loose chairs when it's not in use for a wheelchair. And then recycling and trash, that would be on this lower wall here. And then stool for the point of sale and table that would be here and here. So that's the cafeteria. This furniture here goes into the kitchen office for the manager. All the kitchen equipment is part of the construction package.
Did we confirm if we are bringing over the tables that the registers sit on?
So
What do we land on for that?
We definitely are, because they are exactly the same. There have not been any updates to those, so we're gonna.
They're just part of the register
yes.
thing?
Yeah.
Gotcha. Thanks.
faculty dining, so we'll have tables and chairs for the faculty dining, stools for the built-in counter, and then for the mother's room has a chair and table. All the refrigerators in the space are part of the construction package. Gymnasium, so this storage racks would be in the PE storage, and lockers, and then the chairs. Where the chairs go? Oh, okay, so the chairs are around the perimeter for games. Thank you, Ellen.
Are there benches in the locker rooms, or is this a different kind of locker?
The benches in the locker room are part of the construction package.
Construction, thanks.
And then, yeah, so these lockers are for in the storage room here. And then all the fitness equipment is part of the furniture package as well for the fitness room. So we have weights and different equipment here, yoga mats. We added a cleaning station for that. And then we have 2 ellipticals, bicycle, 2 treadmills, and a rower.
We have one mother's room for the
Yes.
entire. Is that? I know there's certain standard that's sufficient for the numbers of staff.
The PE offices, so pretty standard office.
Excuse me, Joe.
equipment. Yep.
When you calculated the cost of the ineligible furnishings, was the fitness center part of that?
Yes.
It was. Okay.
Yep. All the fitness equipment.
All of it.
Yep.
Okay, good. Thank you.
PE offices, so pretty standard desk and chair, filing cabinets, side chairs, and then some storage. And then the ice machine for the gym is actually part of this package, and that would go in this area here. So there's 2 gym offices. All the lockers and benches are part of the construction package. So sensory room, we have floor mats, a large beanbag chair, a sensory tent, and then 2 floor rocking chairs depicted here. OTPT has this table and chair, and then student chairs here, and then beanbag chairs, a swing. So this is a floor-mounted swing, and then storage cart for them, activity cart. This room here is gift of time room. Still need to update that. Thank you. We have teacher's desk, and then we have individual study carrels with student chairs, and then one bookcase. Nurse's office has a lot of components, so we'll go through each space. We have a storage room that gets the file cabinet and the storage here, or I'm sorry, just the storage shelving. The nurse's office has the standard chair and then a filing cabinet. The exam room has exam bed, and then the scale. And then in the cot area, we'll have, these are the cots for the cot area. This is the exam room for the exam table. So breakout commons there's one in each of the 3 classroom wings.
Sorry, I have a question, Joe. Is
sorry.
there a reason it is. It's on. It says it's on. Is there a reason this refrigerator is not part of the construction like all the other ones?
No, this one is part of the construction.
Okay.
All the refrigerators are.
Okay, so even though it says
Right,
on here refrigerator?
Oh, she requested a full height refrigerator, so we just put it in her list of requirements so that she knew she was getting everything on her list.
Okay.
Yeah, I believe that was part of bulletin 1.
Okay.
So breakout commons. So each of these spaces are at the end of the academic corridors. So we added 4 tables and 4 stools. There's a whiteboard out here as well. That's for little small group breakouts. The main office, again, pretty standard office desk and chair, side chairs. These chairs here are for the waiting room, and then the conference table and chairs. So there's a conference table for the main office and a conference room for the guidance office as well.
Joe, sorry, can you go back 2 pictures ago with the breakout? Oh, sorry, what's that little bump out? Is that like the supply closet?
Yeah, so that's a copy room.
Okay, printer room. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, it's going to have my name on it.
Okay. Okay.
And custodial office has a desk and chairs for the office. Receiving has the storage shelving, and then in the custodial workroom a couple of lockers for the staff. And then the Board of Ed offices. Just give you a minute. So we have standard office furniture, bookshelves, chairs, conference tables. So these are nesting tables that are able to be reconfigured. And then the lunchroom will have tables and chairs. And a sink, yes. And a refrigerator. So these are the office desks and chairs, 2 different configurations. This is
They ask me all the time if I could change the water cooler. I'm like, no, we cannot change the water cooler. Oh, we like the mice. Yeah, we love the mice. We catch one.
yes.
Thank you.
So, okay, so my question is, we did the walkthrough tour I did part of the walkthrough tour last week, and they talked about what walls were a little more reinforced than others.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, when you walk into the middle school, when you stand in the entryway, you can hear the principal in her
Right.
office. Is her office more soundproof than
Yes.
others?
Well, all the offices have to meet Connecticut high performance for acoustical purposes. So it's state code that we have to follow.
So hers, along with all the guidance
Yes.
and everything
so
else.
all
are
the walls have sound attenuation. They go up to deck.
Okay. Thank you.
They didn't cover that in the tour, so. I'm sure. So we could still hear her all the way down.
So that was the quick run through of the furniture. I don't know if we want to look at any of the documents. We have the drawings and specifications. If there was any specific questions, if you had a chance to go through any of those, the estimates, we have all that information that we could put up on the screen if there's any specific questions.
Hey, Joe.
Yes.
Don't be mad. We just had to get clarification from the music instructor at the middle school because Shannon and I were questioning the not using the risers for the band.
Right.
Typically, bands have risers when they perform on a stage. So we don't have them today. So
Right.
we're going to need to add them in.
If you currently own them and they're usable, I would bring them over.
We don't have band risers.
We don't have band risers at all?
Only chorus ones.
One of the stipulations when we use risers in a teaching space is that everything that's funded under the grant is going to have to be configured so that it meets accessibility, which sometimes fits with a program and a space, sometimes it doesn't. So we've had clients either purchase them outside of the project budget so that they can buy whatever they conventionally use, or if they're paid for through the project funding, then we've got to get into ramping and safety rails and things like that. So just something to set context.
But I don't know, is there any discussion on that? What do you guys think?
Chorus. Oh, sorry.
Yep.
Okay.
I don't
So you're-
have a visual in my mind what that looks like.
We never had them, but Rosanna tells me that a lot of other schools have these risers for the band.
Does the high school? I don't know if the high school does either.
We never
I've never
had
seen
them,
one.
but
I don't know what they are.
Do we have
So
space for it?
typically, they use them for a few reasons.
It's more common in a high school, and because we are redoing the middle school to be let's just face it, it's going to be our newest school, and chances of our high schoolers using our middle school are probably great too. It would be awesome to have them, but I definitely know that they're not reimbursable for a middle school. And at least that was my understanding. I could be wrong. Jack?
Programmatically, I think they would be eligible. It's a matter of do you have room to store them? Will you have room to use them in the appropriate configuration on the stage, which, in a way that provides, access for a wheelchair to get on each of the levels of the riser. So that's something that I don't know if we've ever done that layout in the design of the platform.
It has not been requested up until this point, and we have not studied it to see what we would require.
So it hasn't been tested.
No, I didn't even think of it, but I didn't think it was reimbursable. But I mean, if it is, do we?
How does that work after the fact? Like, we can't amend it later? If we forget something, we need to add something in? How does that work?
If a purchase such as the risers doesn't meet all of the stipulations of what a riser should be, then it'll be deemed an ineligible cost. That's all. They're not saying you can't do it. They're just drawing a line on what they'll pay for. And if it's non-compliant,
Fine,
then we'll pay
but-
for it.
So if you have non-ADA compliant risers, can you purchase them as ineligible, or would you still have to have the ramping and guardrails?
Ideally, under the project, they'd like everything to show up as accessible at the end of the day. But frankly, the only thing that they can really do to you is take your reimbursement away
For that one item?
for that particular item.
Or if they're purchased after the fact, then no
If you
one's looking at it.
Buy them out of operating and,
But that'd be outside the project budget.
Right.
yeah.
So
Sure, risers, yes.
if we have to buy ones with guardrails and ramps, the ramps are going to take up half the stage.
Right. I mean, I'm okay with it being ineligible if we need it. I'm not hung up on that.
I don't think it would be a huge cost.
I don't think it's gonna be a
haven't
huge
priced
cost
them
either.
recently.
We haven't looked into it, so I don't know
Yeah.
what the cost would be. I would be concerned with the amount of ramping, if we would be able to accommodate the entire band on the stage.
That's what I'm saying, without the ramping.
Oh, without the ramping.
Just,
Well,
it would be
e-
like, if we
Even
have.
even without the ramping, if a band riser is roughly the depth of this table, in order to put a chair and then have room to walk and whatnot, versus a potentially more compact layout, if it's just chairs on the stage itself, you may not, on a riser scenario, get as many musicians on stage as you would on a single level. So there's a practical aspect of it as well, even without the discussion of ramps.
So you're saying if they're purchased later and they're not wheelchair accessible, the highest risk we have is just not getting reimbursed for that one item, or is the whole project?
For that item.
Just that one
For the
item.
Don't
But
we
we
also
have-
have a liability issue though with not meeting accessibility for students? I feel like you've done so much work,
The-
thoughtful work to make everything so accessible, I would.
But it
Which-
sounds
which is
almost
the same-
unreasonable what they're saying you have to do with a ramp on
it's-
every level.
Right, and you
I've
don't
never
need,
seen
they
that.
don't need to be on a riser, right? Like a child who's in a wheelchair could be in the front row. They don't have to be on the riser. The riser is for the students in the back, so students would be on the stage, and then there's like a riser behind just to elevate like the brass section.
I'm not sure that's entirely accurate because it depends on what instruments
What the instrument
are at
is.
each level.
The percussion is in the back.
Yeah.
'Cause it's the loudest, and that's huge stuff. You know, if you got your timpani drums and your drum kit. So if you've got a kid in a wheelchair playing percussion and you're going to put it in the back on top of these big risers, I'm not sure that really.
I don't think percussion ever goes on risers.
But they're in the back of the band, so they're going to be
Yeah,
behind.
but they're on the side. No,
they're all the way back in the back.
In the typical layout, there's usually the brass in the back, the winds in the front, and then the percussion on the side.
So
Well, the way I'm just saying, when I've seen the band concerts at the middle school,
Yeah.
they're spread out across the back and the sides
well, that's
because there's
they-
so many different percussion
because
instruments.
they don't have risers too.
So
Yeah.
if it helps, I'm designing a theater right now with 500 seats, has an orchestra pit. There's no risers. It's for a private school.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't have a strong opinion on risers or not risers, but I think they would need to be accessible, whatever we end up designing.
Okay. And we probably don't think there's space for them.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. We'd have to study it. We'd have to reach out to the
All right.
manufacturer to help us lay that
So
out.
not to delay the projects, we want approval tonight. Let's say we do a quick hand sketch, decide that you have space for them, like we could put them in if we wanted to. How does that work if we did the approvals tonight and wanted to add something later?
It would be a change order under the FF&E package.
It's just like a change order for
Yeah.
anything else. Okay. All right, so let's table that.
So, but it's accessible without the risers, right? I mean, it's all.
Yes, fully.
So go. I mean, I don't know. I'm thinking go with what we have now without the risers, and if we discover a need for them down the line, then we address it then. What's up?
The band teacher is asking for the risers. That's why.
Well, she's not asking for them. She's not sure because they never had them at the middle school. She's open to them. So I just want to make sure we do our due diligence of exploring it because I don't want us regretting not having them later.
Okay. Sorry, I misunderstood.
No, that's okay. I should have explained that a little bit better.
I have one more question on the furniture. For the custodians, do they need like a workbench area? It just seemed like they had shelving, no workbench. I don't know if anyone kind of coordinated with them what they need.
They're going to, Claudio indicated that they would bring over existing for that.
So just outside of this, moving some of the current things into the new building, do we have items that are usable in our other schools that could be moved from the current building over? Have we looked at that? Like, if we have tables and desks and chairs that we're not using, that are obviously not being moved over from CMS. We're going to be distributing those to other? I'm just making sure. It's due diligence. I kind of hoped I knew the answer, but I'm just confirming. Okay, I'm just making sure that, that's, I'm sure it's been thought of, but thank you.
The high school took claim for the gym floor. They're gonna use it in their wood shop. Make nice artsy crafts out of it. Okay. Any other questions on the furniture? You want to go into electronics? Or do you want to vote on this first?
Whichever way.
What do you want to do,
that.
Jack? Want to vote on this first or go into electronics and do it together?
Separate packages right now.
Separate packages. It's all being evaluated as one phase at the state. So really, one vote is all that we need.
Okay.
So I'd continue on with technology.
Yeah, let's go electronics.
Okay. So I don't have a slideshow for the technology. So
Oh,
Steve,
okay.
can we? Guess we could switch to the. I don't even know what to switch to the list, maybe. Would that be appropriate?
Yeah, if we
It's
can
part of the
read it
estimate.
on the screen.
Might have to. Yes. So it's under new format out. And then technology estimate. I can't read that from here.
I know you had meetings with the.
Yep, that one. Yeah.
I think you had a technology meeting after we had our meeting a couple of
We've
weeks
had
ago.
a few technology meetings with Steve and D'Agostino, and
So what do we settle on for the servers? Are we good?
yes,
With what we have?
We have everything that Steve required.
Okay.
Oh boy, that's tiny.
And we don't need any new computers in the school?
No new computers. Computers are also not eligible unless
Not
they're part of
eligible.
a specific computer lab, which is not part of the ed spec.
We don't have a computer lab.
No.
And what about to run the robotic equipment?
Which equipment?
Like the 3D printers and
3D
the
printers, I believe, are
sketcher
existing
etcher
from-
thingy that we're ordering. The Cricut.
That's actually part of the furniture package.
No, not the Cricut itself, but the computer to run those things.
That would be part of the laptop systems that the
Or
district's already
software.
providing. Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
So the technology package I don't believe has any computers as part of it. Right. Unfortunately, Mark D'Agostino was unavailable for tonight, so I'm gonna have to rely on Steve and what I know of what's in the systems. So it's broken up into 8 different packages here. So we have LAN network switches, and maybe Steve can explain what those are. Wireless access points. So all the infrastructure for these is part of construction, but the actual wireless access point that would be in the ceiling is part of this package. The phone system, the AV systems for the classrooms and digital signage, the uninterrupted PS and PDUs, which thank you. the servers and firewall, the visitor management system, and then the media center itself. That does not include the AV sound system that will be part of the construction package and then for the central admin office, we have wireless access points, the phone system, and then AV systems for the conference room, and also digital signage.
This is monkeys clapping in my ear stuff. What makes a portion of these expenses for the phone system, for example, ineligible? There's a 20,000. I mean, in the grand scheme of the project, but there's $20,000 for the phone that's ineligible.
Jack, do you know the answer to that? The ineligible cost for technology phone systems? There's a list that the state. Is that what it was?
Ron is suggesting that it's the subscription, the service.
Subscription, yeah.
The first year can be provided under the purchase price and is eligible. Beyond the first year is not.
That's probably what all of the ineligible costs are
Yeah, that's definitely part of the ineligible cost to upgrade to the 5-year.
for like the AV systems.
Yeah.
I have trouble scrolling here. Hold on a second. That was under
Yeah.
TE 03.
There was a summary on the top.
I think 3 years.
Right. So there's
But
a
the phone
breakdown.
system is down. I don't know what when I looked at the detail. Again, that was monkeys clapping in my ears. I had no idea. HPE Aruba hardware central advanced subscription license.
Yeah. So the
Okay.
state covers the first year, but any additional years are not covered.
Okay. Okay.
Does the the school admin conference rooms have conference phones in them?
Yes.
And do the teachers have, like, how do I phrase it? You phrase it.
Steve, I know we talked about this, but did we have the ability for all the teachers to be able to, if they had to page out, if they had to, God forbid, we had to go into a lockdown, they can do that from their classrooms? Okay, all right. But in the new ones, we'll be able to have that?
Yes.
Okay.
That's part of the
Thank you.
construction
All right.
package. And I'm pretty sure it's Steve. If you could switch to the floor plans for the technology, we could look specifically.
And we're bringing over the 3D printers, right? We decided that we're not
Yes.
purchasing new ones.
Correct.
So I'm not sure if the rest of the building committee knew that.
What's that? Tech drawings. Yes. Thank you. Oh, I don't know how I'm going to scroll with this thing. If you could keep going, yep, right there, and zoom in to the right over here. Oh, where did it go? Right there. So that should be representing the phone system right there. So there's one in each conference room. Yep. Yeah. Yes.
And all the community spaces have audiovisual capability, right? Cafeteria, auditorium, gymnasium, and media
Yes.
center.
Media center will, yes.
Will. And the live streaming capability.
Yes.
So we're adding the whatever those things
that
are
would
called.
be for the media center.
Live streaming.
Yeah.
Also the auditorium,
Yes. Yes.
gymnasium.
Gymnasium. I don't know if we have that in the gymnasium. Do we?
We have to,
Yeah.
because that's where we do graduations.
Oh yes. Okay. Sorry. Yeah. I'll have to
One
confirm
double
it.
check. I'll,
Yeah, I
I'll
can
add it to the
confirm
list.
I know we have that other system with that you currently use. Was it? Yeah, I forget what it's called. Sorry. Discovery Video. Yes.
Discovery Video. But you need the mounts and stuff for the cameras.
That's a manufacturer. Mm-hmm.
And did we ever, Joe, did we ever settle on the amphitheater solar lights?
I have not had a chance to look into that yet.
Would that be part of
But
the
that's-
construction?
That would be part of construction.
Okay, so wouldn't it be part of this?
Yeah, I was gonna say because there were a couple things I was thinking about from last meeting, but I think they were all construction related.
Right. Any of the construction related stuff I've had the table to get these packages put together.
Last meeting, I asked about the warranty on the furniture. Did you find out about anything on warranty?
Do you know what? Did we not receive it? We'll have to reach back out to Suburban and
Because if, you know,
confirm that.
after the first few months, you might have some, defective stuff that might need to be replaced out. Just wonder what the...
They do provide a very substantial maintenance program that they'll come by and make sure everything's working, and if anything needs to be replaced, that will be done. But
Okay.
I'll double check what the actual warranty is.
Thank you.
On the pieces.
Okay.
All right. Huh? I'm sorry. Oh yeah. Anyone? Is that it, Joe?
Unless you have any more questions, I
Oh.
want to look at anything
I'm not
else
sure if you're showing anything else.
specifically.
Anyone else have any questions? Have you all had a chance to look at the list?
Sorry if I missed this, but we talked about the media center AV. Is that included?
That's gonna be part of the construction package.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but we are adding it in. It's gonna be a change order, right?
Yes. Yeah, so the yes, bulletin 5. Yeah,
Right-
so all the
right, Chris?
the AV systems for the auditorium and the gym and the cafeteria, and then for the media center, are all part of construction because of the size of them.
I've let the construction team know, and we're awaiting the documents from Joe. As soon as I get those, I'll get them priced up.
Okay, thanks. All right, anyone else have any other questions on the technology package? All right, if anyone have any questions on anything, otherwise we can vote. Oh, go ahead.
I know I threw a wrench in some things with this question about the podium, so would that just potentially be a change order? Yeah.
At this point, yeah.
Get it in for 7, the podium. Yeah, we could add that.
We can add the podium?
That in, yes.
So would
We'll,
we have
we'll
to?
confirm with D'Agostino that they don't have it currently, and we'll coordinate with them if it's part of the technology package or part of the furniture package.
Okay.
And it would be movable?
Movable.
And it would be movable?
Portable,
Mobile,
yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
portable.
Portable. Mobile, portable. Would we have to vote with that, like, amendment? Or it's just like, with that change, Jack?
At this point, we're not even sure what connectivity the podium would have or could have.
Right.
So I think that that's kind of a nebulous topic right now. I think you're safer off treating it as a change order rather than trying to annotate a vote tonight.
Okay.
For something that we haven't
Looked into
haven't
yet.
even looked into, let alone, put a cost to.
Okay. All right, perfect.
So from a procedural point, does the Board of Ed need to come to order in order to have a meeting, in order to have a vote tonight? How does that work?
I think last time we just made it part of your vote, right? So
Yeah,
I think we can do that again, right?
Okay.
I think so.
We have a quorum.
You have a quorum.
So the next item on the agenda would be for someone to make a motion to approve the drawing specifications and estimates as presented for furniture and technology. Phase 3 of 3?
Phase 3 of 3.
Phase 3 of 3.
Would anyone like to make that motion?
Yes, the board would need to make their own.
Yeah. Yes. Yes, separate between the two. We'll do the building committee first, and then we'll do the Board of Ed.
All right. So I'll make a motion for the building committee.
For what Jack said.
For Jack's well orated motion.
Thanks, Matt.
Second.
Thank you, Blaze. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed, say nay. Anyone abstaining? Motion carries. Selena, you can take over.
All right, would anyone else
I'll
from Board of
make
Ed
a
like to make a
motion for
motion?
the Board of Ed.
Catherine, who'd like to second? Matt? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Motion carries.
Thank you.
Such a
Excellent.
deal.
All right. You are all more than welcome to stay for the remainder of our meeting.
But you didn't bring cookies or muffins.
I did not bring cookies, muffins, or coffee this time, unfortunately. I almost did, but today's been a busy week. This work. I mean, this week's been a busy week. Today's been a busy day. This week's been a busy week. Yes. All right.
Thank you, Rosanna, and to everyone on the building
Thank
committee.
you.
everyone
Thank
here.
you all for coming. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. Joe, you didn't have anything else you wanted to go over?
Appreciate it.
Yeah. Go ahead.
See you later. Thank you.
Bye. Though someone from the Board of Ed, feel free to stay if you'd like to. It's been a week. I know.
I'm
It's
gonna
been a rough week the last 3 hours.
my neighbor is attending, and I'm just gonna walk across the street and bug her tomorrow.
I like how that works out.
Oh, it's just an update to the rendering.
Yeah, the version.
Cromwell Middle School.
Thank
sign.
you.
Yeah, the building signage. Yeah.
Oh, you guys want to stick around for building signage, anyone?
It's a tiny little design update. It'll be part of both.
Teaser. Sucked him right in.
Just
No,
when
the
I
other
thought
one,
I was
the other
out,
one.
they pull me back in.
The draft one, yeah.
Tell him we're thinking of renaming.
You're gonna rename the building to the.
That's it. So tiny little design update. It's going to be very tiny on the screen. So we just updated the rendering to show the Cromwell Middle School signage, and we resized the trees based on reality.
Yeah,
So,
they're gonna grow.
just wanted
I
to
know,
give
they're
you a little
gonna grow,
update on that,
though.
'cause I know you asked to see that last time.
Are these gonna be
believe they
like?
said they're small.
Are these dwarf trees?
They'll pick a species.
I
They'll
forget
pick a
what they
species that are
were.
meant to be small.
Can we make
But
sure
yes.
they're dwarfs?
Yes,
dwarf trees?
they're like a cherry tree basically. So they.
Like a weeping cherry?
It's not a weeping cherry, but it's similar to a.
Well, my cherry tree is really tall, so we
so
just
it
make
would have
sure
to
they
be,
don't grow
if it was
too.
pruned, you'd be able to maintain the height
Okay.
of it.
All right.
I mean, that's pretty high. I mean, that's high.
It's probably. You
think it's that tall?
Yeah, I was gonna say it was like 14, 15 feet.
Yeah, your cherry tree's not that tall.
The
Is that lettering big
vestibule-
enough?
Yeah, maybe it's about 20 if I scale. Yeah.
Do you want to go bigger? Okay. Are there lights on the?
Yes. we're
There's
gonna
lights on
add
the letters.
Lights too. Yes, I gotta get that. As from. That will be in the next week or so. Yeah.
Lights on the Cromwell Middle School wording?
Yes.
It will be like behind the letters, or will it be a spotlight?
Oh, well, it depends on what you want. I
Oh,
think
okay.
the backlit is probably more expensive.
Backlit looks beautiful,
I
but
know.
it is
I'd
more
rather
expensive.
do backlit.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
We want the backlit ones, right, Chris?
I would pick the backlit ones only because I've had problems in the past with the arms that have the lights on them, and it just becomes a real big issue.
They look weird too, like ears on the side of the thing.
Yeah.
It is unsightly as well, but once again, it all comes down to the almighty dollars, so they are going to be more expensive for sure.
Are we talking like hundreds of thousands? Are we talking like thousands? What are we talking?
Couldn't even venture a guess without having size of the lettering. Do you want Lexan? Is there a metal surround to it? There's 100 different options there. I'd have to have more information.
Yeah, let's get the 100,000 version.
I do
How-
know.
How about a range?
I do know that those arm lights, those come at a hefty cost as well, though. So there may be an offset between.
And those break.
Electrical work versus signage work. It could be break even at the end of the day.
I think it'd look nicer and neater if we just did the backlit ones. Right? Anyone disagree? Everyone.
As long as the price tag isn't like the sign at the.
I know, that's,
Well, but you're not
so nervous.
But you're not carrying wire all the way like hundreds
I know,
of
but
feet.
I think we need numbers before we can even venture. Yeah.
So,
Yeah,
Joe, couldn't
obviously.
you put a light on the canopy and shine up on it?
You could do that as well, yes.
Oh yeah.
We have
that's a
lighting in
good
the
idea.
canopy.
Yeah, and you could probably get a lens that would direct that light, correct, Joe?
I would think so.
How much
Yeah.
money? What lights? Can we get an estimate?
Yeah. I can give you some basic.
If I get
info.
preliminary design
Mhm.
specifications, yes, I can get you an estimate.
Okay. Let's.
Do you want to do canned letters that are lit or a light on the canopy shining up?
Can we do both? See what the difference cost is.
Can you work off a narrative for that?
Yes.
Yeah.
Let me see what you got, and then we'll go from
Okay.
there.
Chris, say yes.
Absolutely.
Joe, would you be able to send Rosanna or me the JPEG of this image for us to just use on social and our website?
Yes.
With the revision? Thank you.
And we need to make a separate project on these letters, but they do look a little small. Maybe it's just perspective. I know everything's skewed here looking on a presentation, but I'd say as long as they're maybe the same height as the one on the WIS school. Because keep in mind, like this one, you're going to be able to see this from the street. People are driving by. You know, the schools are pretty tight in a range to each other.
Right.
You just don't want people kind of like squinting, turning in. Oh, it's not the middle school. As long as people can see it visible from the
Do
street.
you know how big the WIS signage is?
I'm sure Ken remembers that from when he worked on the project.
Ken will get you Ken will get you the specs. I don't know. Whatever you think is standard. I wouldn't
Okay.
even venture like I don't know. It's like 18 inches.
That's
or-
what that is. 18 inches.
That's
actually.
18.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, don't forget, there's also a sign at the front
entrance.
entrance. So
That's
Yeah.
right. Yeah. This isn't the only thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Is that the normal? Is that the normal size for signs?
So we have 12 inches at the Board of Ed, which is lower, and so I scaled it up 50% for the rendering.
Yeah.
But is that what the normal like when they put
I'd
letters
have to
on?
look into what normal is. So depends on the.
Every building's
Right.
different.
I mean, I like to your point. It's going to be far back.
I could get
Yeah,
you
but
some
that-
dimensions and do a little bit more research into that. But
Anyone
it's
else bothered by it?
probably
Is it just me and Matt bothered by it?
at 18 inches long. It's roughly looking at like 30 feet long of sign right there.
Yeah, I don't think you want it to take up the whole front of the school either.
Sure. No. It probably is just incremental, but yeah, it would only.
Yeah, and if you're driving down Gear Street, trying to see that sign, your eyes should be on the road because like that part of the school is even off to the side.
Yeah.
True.
So you're not going to see it until you're really driving up the
You're gonna be
driveway
in the
into the
driveway
school.
anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
You already know where you are.
Hopefully. Everyone has GPS and Waze.
Yes.
Everyone knows where they are.
All right.
Yeah.
Let's make it a digital sign so we can change
No.
the name every once in a while.
And we're just doing black.
30 feet long.
Yeah.
You guys are laughing.
Can it scroll too?
So, context from another project.
Real punchy.
I've got a sign on a building that's up. It's on the roof of a 3-story building. The letters they're canned letters lit from behind. They're 24 inches tall, and the client thought they were too big. So it's all
After they were
perspective.
installed?
Right.
I have another project where they're up 1 story from the building, and those are just metal signs, metal letters, and they're 30 inches high. So it all depends.
You're okay with that proportion?
I think it looks good.
All right. We'll go.
And these are just black.
I think it
like
looks great.
black
Uh,
block letters.
They're
Like that
depending on
dark
what you
gray?
want. If you want them lit from the canopy, it would probably be like a cast metal, like we're doing for the Board of Ed. If they're backlit, I'll have to look into what a backlit material would be.
Oh,
They could be black.
All right.
All right. Very good.
that's all I have for tonight.
All right, thank you. Chris.
Can I?
No?
Can I just? I have to leave in a couple minutes, so can I just jump ahead and do design subcommittee real quick?
I think, do we need to vote on that? We need to vote
I make
to
a
change the
motion to
agenda?
amend the agenda to move the design subcommittee up to after the Perkins Eastman report.
Okay, is there a second? All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Anyone abstaining? Motion carries.
Okay, so the design subcommittee met with Perkins Eastman's team. It was a week ago Friday already. They gave us some additional renderings and thoughts and ideas for the different spaces for wall graphics. We had some really good discussion. We're moving forward, and they're kind of fleshing out some ideas based on the feedback. They also requested the curriculum from Dr. McLean, so that they can pull in some of the curriculum items, I guess, subjects, I don't know what the right term is, into some of the graphics that will be on the walls to make sure that the graphics actually represent what the students are doing in that school. So they're working on that, and then they'll be getting back to us when they have the next iteration done. The design subcommittee will get that information. We'll kind of meet on our own, collaborate, and give some feedback. And there'll be some digital back and forth before we actually meet again, just to kind of move things along a little faster.
When are you meeting again? Do you know yet?
We do not have another meeting scheduled. We're just waiting for, I believe Dr. McLean just sent over the curriculum stuff recently, so Rebecca's working on tweaking some of the designs and making those changes, so.
We still have time, right? There's no huge time crunch for this stuff, or is there?
We're running out of time.
We're running
Wall
out of time
graphics.
to order the graphics.
I think we have January.
Yeah, I'm all over Joe right now for all that stuff because I want to get the submittal process going.
Yeah.
And lead time issues. I just want to make sure that we're all covered here.
Okay. Gotcha. So, can we try to meet like within the next week? Joe?
Yeah, as soon as we get the information over from Perkins digitally, I will set up time with the 4 of us on the design subcommittee so we can review and get feedback back.
Okay.
Hopefully within a day or two, back to the Perkins team.
Gotcha. Okay. Anything else?
Nope, that's it.
Thank you. Have a good night. Newfield. Thank you. So excited for walls.
Yeah.
I can't wait for brick.
All right, so this video was taken 2 days ago.
2 days ago?
2 days ago, yep. Thanks, Steve. Yep. All right, so this is showing you pretty much the completion of all the steel here. We still have this little area left. That will be done hopefully by the end of the week. What I want you to note is from here all the way to the back and on top of here, that roof is all watertight now. That's allowed us in the second floor and the first floor of the B wing here to be able to top off interior walls in the hallway so that we can actually take delivery of duct and start getting these mechanical systems installed. This stair is installed. This one started installing today. As we come around, I'll explain some more. So we started around the windows. You're going to start seeing blue. That's the blue skin. It's AVB material. We're starting to detail out the openings over here in the courtyard. As you can tell, we've got mechanical curbs right here, right here. All of these areas here are rails for equipment. All of that stuff is now in and installed, ready for the roofer to come in and flash over them and put them in. You can see that we've made it around the corner here, and we're starting to get into the area of the BOE with our dense glass, which is your sheathing. Your masonry walls on the exterior are coming along very well, and we're going to be moving into this area with cold form metal framing. It's all on the ground right there, ready to go. You can see the front of your auditorium is all framed out, ready for dense glass. That's your sheathing material. Once again, I came around here so that I could get a little lower so that you can see some more detail when I come across the roof. But this area here along Main Street is probably roofed right up to about here, coming off the north end going this way right now. When they're done with that area, they're going to jump on the BOE, and then they'll come back towards the kitchen and the cafeteria, and then they'll jump up onto the gym and go from there. So we have a good sequence going with that. As you can tell, all these upper window assemblies are framed out, ready for aluminum openings. Once again, up on the roof, you can see roof drains are in place, curbs are in place for all of your mechanical equipment. And then once again, right here, you see them staging that roofing material that is up to about here now. So this is your cafeteria area. This is your kitchen area with all your mechanical spaces over in this area with receiving. There's more mechanical space. BOE is ready for roof. Like I said, that's going to start next week. As you can tell, this east wall of the upper gym assembly is in place, ready for sheathing. We've come around the corner here. Auditorium wall has made it up to the second stage here. We're just filling in all of these areas with as much cold form metal framing as we can right now in an attempt to close up the building so that we can temporarily heat it through the winter, which we're bringing online. We're shooting for the end of this month, and things are coming along in that. As you can tell, there's that blue that I was telling you about. That's the detailing. That goes first, and then we spray the AVB, which is air vapor barrier. You're going to see that green turn gray next week, okay? And then additionally, in this area right here, you're going to see the brick masonry work starting next week. So that's when we're gonna put an in situ mock-up. I've coordinated that with Joe and the rest of the design team to make sure that we check that quality before we go full bore on everything, and make sure that all of our details are correct. That's what Joe and I and the rest of the team have been working through tirelessly, is to make sure that when we get to that point, we have a clear path to continue right around that south elevation and right around the west and onto the north and continue right around the building. Also, within the next couple of weeks, you're going to see that cold form metal framing that we've been doing in that clockwise progression is actually going to start back at that start point that we had and come around that north section of the court. I take it back, the south section of that courtyard, north wall of building A, so that we can get that courtyard and start doing the flat work and whatnot in there and be ready for when the thaw comes in the spring. So trying to hit it on every aspect that we can right now.
So when you say you're weather tight, like what do you do for the window openings?
As part of the bid packages, we bought temporary enclosures for those, meaning it's basically fire retardant poly.
Oh.
It's reinforced poly.
Okay.
So that will go around on the frame within the opening. That will keep us relatively airtight, watertight, and allow us to continue through the winter.
Okay.
Are there any questions on any of this?
Yeah, I have one question.
Go ahead.
Where that pitched roof meets the gym wall up top there, is there any type of additional roofing there where you get that the water flowing right into that wall?
That whole thing has 3 crickets down it, as well as roof drains in the low spots, so it's diverting into single space areas.
So it's cricket in 3 different places.
Yes, yes, and I can go over that with you if you'd like.
Yeah, I'll take a walk over there next sometime.
Yeah, no worries. You get that in all of these. All of these areas except this one right here. This one doesn't have a cricket. It's going to drop right into a gutter, and then there will be a leader that comes out next to the canopy.
Gotcha.
Any other questions?
I have a really dumb, kind of not related question. So when everything drains underground and down out, right? What prevents those drains from clogging up, like, or animals getting in there, or just debris from the, trees, leaves, stuff, all that getting in there and clogging it up?
So I'm only aware of one real outlet into that TST per se. As far as all of the sanitary lines and drain lines and all those things, they all have backflows on them before they come back into the building. So it's a one-way valve. It can only go out. It can't come back in, or it can only come back into a certain spot. So you do have protections in place for that kind of scenario.
But for the storm drains, like.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's a closed system, and usually there's testing and verification that it's clear before everything's final.
Absolutely.
There's no way for leaves and things like that to get in there, is what you're saying?
I'm trying to envision in the pipe itself.
Well, from the top down, something could get into a roof drain, but there are
Yes.
cleanouts in the plumbing system.
Okay.
Yes.
And usually there's cleanouts in the underground storm system too.
Just about at every turn there is.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, so there is a way to.
Yep.
flush it out or
Absolutely.
whatever.
I'm just thinking in terms of the retention system under the parking lot. I'm thinking about in terms of the TST, where that outflow is and all those kinds of things.
Yeah.
There are checks and measures all the way along those lines to keep you clear and safe.
Okay, cool. Exciting.
Any other questions? Can you bring up Arcadis's? Yes, please. I got it here, Steve, if you want to put it up. Yep. All right, so for project updates, I kind of put through a hit list of where we're at, what we're doing. I hit on all these topics within the video pretty much. I do want to stress the importance of where we are within the MEP installation process in the B building, both first and second floors, as well as in the C building, all the way through and including the BOE, all the upper hanger attachments and assemblies for all of the plumbing systems, mechanical ductwork, refrigeration lines, all that stuff is in place now. We're just waiting for these roofs to get done so that we can start putting in the pipe, doing more conduit, all of that kind of stuff. So the progress of the mechanical systems, you're going to see it explode within the next month here. And it's good because you guys have been very willing to pay for stored materials, which are all sitting in these guys' shops. So we're going to see all that material start coming in rapid succession here to help the process, okay? And once again, I will reiterate that I did tell them, get everything that you can here. I don't care what it is. We're going to get it paid for. Make sure that it's on site, in your shop, wherever it is. I don't want to have shipping issues coming up. So I guess
you have enough space on site to store everything? Like, where are you putting it all?
A lot of these guys have provided insurance certificates, bills of sales, and it's sitting in their shops right now, which has been verified.
So you're going to leave it there until you're ready for it, or are you going to have it all shipped over here?
No, I'm having it all left at their shops so that we
okay.
don't congest the job site. In the grand scheme of things, we do have a quote-unquote postage stamp. We have a limited amount of space, so I can't take deliveries of all of it. But
I was understanding the opposite. I thought you were saying you wanted it all delivered because you were worried about shipping time. But
no, I'm talking about things coming from overseas. I'm talking about things
to
coming
their
from
sites.
overboard. Yeah,
Gotcha.
yeah, over the border, all that kind of stuff.
Okay.
If there's no questions with this, I'll continue.
Sorry, Chris, are you saying that there's stuff that's overseas, or is it predominantly all local?
It's coming from everywhere.
Will the recent strike affect any of that?
That's why I said what I
Okay.
said.
Okay, got it.
Yeah, and I hit that home for the last 2 days now.
Okay.
Joe's very well aware of this issue as well. So
There's a strike. Am I oblivious to the strike?
Shipping the dock workers.
Oh.
Yeah.
and that may become an issue on our project. I'm not sure yet.
Okay.
I put these 2 items here as resuming in spring because these guys have, for all intents and purposes, demobilized from the job. They've done a majority of their contract already. We cannot go any further until we get into the next phase of what we're doing within the building, okay? So when the thaw comes, you're going to see them come back and start working again, okay? I just want to make sure that you guys understood that there's a little lag there.
And again, going back with the site activities, back where on his slide, Tri-State's out there continuously doing the structural. Right now, they're doing the structural steel and their inspections, and Friedman has been out with the water, and that's been good. So, and we have also had the special inspector out last Friday, I believe it was, and we're waiting for his report. As far as I know, there were no issues.
No, and we finally have movement on this contaminated soil, by the way.
Oh.
As soon as Claudio gets back and I get a signature on the new form, we can actually proceed
Nice.
and finalize all that. With any kind of luck, before it freezes, we'll be able to get that soil out of here. So, you got anything else you want to add to that, Ron?
No, we're good right now.
All right, for the design process, pretty much status quo. Joe and I are working through with his consultants, answering these RFIs as quickly as possible. We do have some critical items that are going to be coming up. That Bulletin 1 pricing approval is going to become a critical item, as well as the Bulletin 2. They're both in for review right now. We're going back and forth through the comment process right now. I don't know how long that's going to take. I'm hoping that we can rectify that by next Thursday, Joe, so that we have everything in place. And then I can present it to the subcommittee and we can continue our progress. And once again, we're working towards that weather tight for the winter. That's our key goal right now. That's our main focus and thrust. Also, the MEP coordination process, we had talked about that a couple of times. The last submission for the A building has been submitted to the design team. So that process, for all intents and purposes, is complete. Now we're going to have to circle back with the Bulletin 3 information now, which will affect the B2, with B second floor, and A areas for additional sound attenuators. But we're going to work through that process as well. 2-week look ahead. This thing's temperamental. Once again, you'll see, you really can't see, but that's his site work. Mather Corp is off the site. Computaro, your concrete contractor, they're pretty much done as well. Their contract is now limited to stair pans and housekeeping pads within the building. So
What about the front of the building? Are they coming back to do that?
you're talking about sidewalks and whatnot?
Yeah.
No, that's covered under your site work package.
That's someone else.
Yeah, that's all flat work with the site work contractor.
Okay.
And that will all be taken care of in the springtime
Yeah.
and so, it's nice though to have concrete out of the way. Now those guys are gone. And soon enough, structural will be out of your way as well. The idea is that they're going to be fully installed by the end of next week. So that's detailed, decked, everything done. The only portion of that metals package that will remain will be any of the railings, any of that kind of stuff that are around the building as we move through the finished spaces. For masonry, they're on it. They're on every elevation in every part of the building right now.
So exciting.
And that's once again a part of the thrust of getting the building closed in for the winter. Okay, we have not only the cold form metal framing, but the masonry together. They're all working on exterior stuff as opposed to interior.
When do you
stuff.
think all the masonry be done by? What's your target? Before it's weather tight or after?
It's all integral with it. So I
So
mean,
you're saying like November?
I'll have all the masonry backup done and the cold form metal framing. That's what we're looking for
Outside part.
building tight.
Yeah,
As
yeah.
far as the veneer is concerned, the brick and everything.
Yeah.
We bought that as a winter condition, so they're going to work that brick all the way through the winter right around the building. So as soon as I get those CMU walls and those metal framed walls up, at that point I'm quote unquote weather tight.
Okay.
And I can start tempering the space, doing whatever I need to do to continue those finishes processes.
Gotcha.
Did that pad ever get poured, Chris, for the high lift for the roof access?
No, that was actually part of the Bulletin 2 pricing that we're going through right now, as well as the rail that was up on the roof. Joe and I had a couple of conversations about making that a better design, making sure that it wasn't going to leak for you guys, and that's what's getting priced right now. So we've actually vetted out those numbers. Everything looked pretty decent on that. So, yep. Once again, drywall, they're focusing on the exterior walls, but we are working interior. He's got a separate crew that's going around and starting to shoot the top track, starting to get the interior walls going around the B building and the C building. So we're trying to hit them all on all fronts. So electrical, it's mostly just rough-ins within masonry walls. They're starting to run some degree of conduit in the ceiling. We don't want to get too crazy with that unless we're weather tight. So, same thing with plumbing. A lot of all of your roof leader work will be done within the next couple of weeks here, in advance of the roofer coming through, and all those rainwater leaders and everything are all tied into that TST now. So like I said before, once they're all firing on all cylinders, you're going to start seeing that TST coming up and down with rain events, because all that water is going to be diverted into it. They're doing your in-wall rough too. A couple of you went on the walkthrough last week. A lot of these multi-people bathrooms, all that kind of stuff are coming along with the wet wall installs in advance of the interior framing and masonry work. Communications, same thing as electrical. They're getting all of their rough-in done within the walls, masonry walls, and wherever they can right now as it's going along. I already explained to you about the HVAC, explained to you about the roofing, and then those are just items for us to be keeping track of. That's it.
All right. Before we get into that, because we skipped over your comms report. Any other questions for Chris on the construction stuff? All right. Do you have any?
And nothing really to report. Just thank you everyone for attending and participating in the ceremony last week, and thank you, Chris, for all the coordination and help that you and your team provided. I think it went really well. And it's really, it was awesome to celebrate that milestone. So I feel like it came up quick after the groundbreaking, but I guess it wasn't that quick. And then our town council and board of education reports went over to the respective folks today. Lisa, I just sent it during the meeting because I know I was supposed to get it today, a little bit later than I anticipated. And then our monthly newsletter to all our email subscribers will go out this week.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Jack.
Can I add one thing real quick?
Yeah.
As I had noted at the beam ceremony, if you guys want to have anybody from your high school come down, walk and tour that site as part of a class or anything like that, just let me know. We like doing community outreach. We like getting people and get the younger generation engaged. So Just
Yeah,
keep.
Chris, I mentioned, we'll definitely have a scout group.
Yes, we can do that as well. As long as you guys coordinate it with me and we make sure that everything's good, I have no problem allowing people to come down and take a look, especially for the children. I want to get them engaged.
Who's the shop teacher at the high
Thank
school?
you, Chris.
Borgia. Thank you, Borgia.
Yeah, I'm sure they can identify some classes or students where that would make
Oh, yeah,
sense.
for sure.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and if you let me know, in advance, we can maybe do some sort of agenda or something. We can put something together as well.
Awesome. Thank you. Field trip.
Okay, Arcadis report is pretty short. We are not far enough into the month to have last month's financials. We'll have those at the second meeting of the month. Are we also meeting on the 30th?
Next week? No. Tuesday.
Other,
Our next meeting would
because we
be-
only have one
Yeah.
meeting in November?
Our next, yes?
Yeah, that's what the meeting schedule had 3 October meetings.
3 October. Okay, so at the second October meeting, we will have financials for the month of September. We have no change orders to present to you tonight.
The 16th and the 30th, right?
So the only invoice that was ready in time was Arcadis. This is services for the month of September, split between the two projects totaling $16,350. That's our standard monthly invoice.
Let's bring that up at the end. Okay, I'll take a motion to approve the amount I can't see on the screen.
$16,350.
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All opposed? Anyone abstaining? Motion carries.
In next month's invoice, we will have charges from our special inspector in addition to our standard labor. And that's all I have for tonight.
So you're gonna bring the summary on the 30th, you're saying, or next week, or next?
It should be at the 16th,
Next 16th.
the financial summary on the 16th.
Yeah, that holdup was on my end. Some of our contractors had an issue with their requisitions that we needed to address. I should have everything before the end of the week, which will allow Jack and Emily to do what they
Take
need
your
to.
time, take your time. No rush, no rush.
Oh, they're in a rush, let me tell you.
All right, that's it, Jack? Okay, Shannon brought up a good point. Lisa, when do we need to have the 2025 calendar dates, meeting dates set up by? In December? Okay. All right. Okay.
So am I the only one? Like all my I don't have any invites after today. I
Really?
don't know. Yeah. I see. It looks like you did.
Yeah, I've got.
Sorry, this always seems to be a consummate issue for me.
If
So
you're not invited, that's why.
you can forward them to me separate. That's okay.
How do I forward? I don't know how to forward from Apple.
Yeah. Unreal. Okay.
The 16th.
16th. I mean, I had them on. I had them in September.
That's what I use all the time.
Yeah.
I don't know how to forward this to you.
Okay.
Oh, maybe it's in my Google Calendar. Let me look real quick.
But then a question for Jack. Remind me again where we're at with the solar panel stuff.
I believe now
I
that
know
we're
we're
done with the
pausing
FF&E
this.
presentation, Joe can include that in the
we're
next
planning
meeting.
on next meeting having some information available.
Okay.
I don't think I could forward.
Okay.
Won't let me forward. My mail?
Okay, any other comments?
Any other updates or announcements from anyone? If not, meeting is adjourned.